I thought another thing that that kind of came up as an ongoing complaint was around how like classification is a kind of an ongoing problem that and I forget how these are pronounced, the NICS record is it's not granular enough to really differentiate between a bunch of different highly specialized SMBs, which I think would really hamstring kind of targeting and like prioritization and even customization, because if you're just going outbound against like a restaurant or whatever, different restaurants have very different needs, right? So I thought that was like it was surprising to me that there were so many kind of mentions of the fact that that kind of like legacy way of classifying businesses was such an impediment to go to market behaviors.
Yeah, well, I think probably most of your audience can relate to the disaster that is the Salesforce industry field, right? I think we've all been there, right? Let's see, Delta Airlines, is that hospitality? Is that airline? Is that transportation?
Right.
I better put it in as all three just in case, right?
Right.
So I mean that's really what this is getting at. And again, this is I've been in places where I'm going to just use the NAICS code, right? My industry is going to be the NAICS code. I'm going to get rid of all those default pick list items that are always a mess. They're never up to date. My other favorite is a lot of stuff ends up in A, right? Because if you give some kind of alphabetical pick list, A is at the top. No. So everybody ends up in the first A industry. So the standard NAICS classification is not fine or granular enough to really get down to the level of detail. And you gave the good example, right? A restaurant. Well, an Italian fine, white linen fine dining restaurant has very different needs and very different opportunity than a quick serve pizza place or a fast food franchise. So just lumping them all in restaurant or food and beverage, that's not enough. So you really need to look at, again, this goes back to the data quality, right? So I'm sure some of these people that in the survey are like, I don't have good data, I'm not happy with my data. They're trying to do this finer delineation between those white linen restaurants versus the quick serve, versus the pizza shops, right? So absolutely important to be able to segment to a finer micro classification on the industry level.